So my name is Cody Unser. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I grew up in auto racing, was kind of a part of a fast-paced, kind of lifestyle and a winning family. So I kind of knew what winning and losing kind of means. My dad is Unser Jr. and he won the Indianapolis 500 twice, and my grandpa won it 4 times, which is awesome. And then my uncle Bobby won it 3 times. So it's kind of cool to say that, my family has sort of a legendary history. I became paralyzed when I was 12 years old due to transverse myelitis, which is an autoimmune condition. My own immune system attacked my spinal cord. In a matter of 20 minutes, my entire life changed. So I was very scared, very not knowing what life was gonna, how I was gonna live my life this way. I felt kind of broken and I was put in this box. I woke up like any other day. I was in 6th grade, went to school like I just did every day, and went to basketball practice. And at basketball practice, I noticed like I had a hard time catching my breath, like I couldn't breathe. And then I got the massive headache that just would not go away. And so I set out and my symptoms got worse. I just couldn't breathe, big headache. So the school called 911, they laid me in the locker rooms, and that's when my left leg went completely numb. My right leg was like kind of tingling, and that was it. That was the last time I ever walked. At 12 years old, you have no idea what that means, or okay, when can I go back to playing basketball and walking and running? And so it was very scary, not knowing anything. When I was little, I was always on snowmobiles and 4-wheelers and jet skis and anything to do with the motor. So that's kind of why I guess when I became paralyzed, my whole world just stopped. Like it was just sort of silent, and I didn't think anything was going to be possible ever again. And I sort of had to find myself. And I think, starting the foundation and really kind of inspiring other people and working with other people and helping them find themselves as well kind of let me find myself, and I wasn't lost anymore. There's about 2,500 cases a year in the US, and it gets misdiagnosed so often. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I started the Cody Unser First Step Foundation, was to bring awareness not only to the public, but to the, kind of the medical community, get doctors talking and sharing data, and how can we figure this out for better treatments and cures. And scuba diving is such an awesome sport. Like, it's the best thing that ever happened to me after, I became paralyzed. It was just the one thing that let me know that life's okay, I'm okay. It's, I'm gonna run into challenges, and kind of learning, scuba diving, you have to go through all the skills and the training. So it was challenges that took me out of the challenge of being paralyzed, which I totally sort of embraced. I started noticing some sensations in my legs and in my bladder that would last after I would come up to the surface. It would last for like a week or so. And I kept telling my doctors, there's something to this that's, beyond just it being a sport. Like it's therapeutic, and kind of there's a medical component to it. We went to the Cayman Islands and sort of did this study, and the results were remarkable. 80 to 100% reduction in PTSD symptoms. So there is definitely this peaceful, serene, mental, kind of emotional journey, I guess, that scuba diving provides, but also it definitely makes you greater sensation, just overall kind of improvement. The first certification trip that we did, the last dive that I had to do, it was just my aha moment, and I kind of turned to my mom, and we already established the foundation at that point, but I said, I really want to offer this to other people with disabilities, and this is the best thing in the world that kind of lets you know that there's anything that you want to do in life, you can do it. So that's kind of been my journey, and I love sharing it with everybody, and that's kind of why we're here at Kennedy Krieger Institute, kind of sharing this experience with other patients and other people with spinal cord injuries. It's been, it's just awesome to see them light up, once they're in the water and kind of with the gear on, and they kind of feel like astronauts, and it's just a whole other perspective and world down there for sure. We kind of go road tripping around the US and kind of discover scuba events and intros either at camps or community pools, but we kind of work with the local dive shops wherever we go to. And we kind of just sort of network with other divers to sort of help other people. So, and Patty's been awesome as a dive agency. They've been really supportive. So it's really this momentum of adaptive scuba and trying to get more instructors involved. And so we do a lot of intros across the country, but then we go on dive trips. Scuba diving is obviously why we're there, but by default, they learn sort of life experiences and be able to get to travel and get in and out of cars. And so that's kind of the whole experience, you know, is that we sort of include other things part of life. And I guess that I'm really sort of proud of the fact that we don't charge the person. I definitely think that sort of adaptive scuba diving has created a lot of momentum, and you know, I think kind of, you know, dive shops in general should definitely, you know, get involved. And because if somebody rolls into their dive shop, you don't want to turn them away. I mean, kind of in society in general, sometimes we feel like we're, you know, sort of an afterthought, or especially with accessibility. You know, if you can't get into a building or there's no elevator, you feel kind of discouraged about anything else in life. Diving, that's what I really want diving to be a part of, is this sort of evolution of accessibility and inclusion, and creating kind of an atmosphere where everybody can dive. And that's again where the research comes into play and more medical studies need to be done. Transverse myelitis has definitely sort of changed my life. I sort of describe it as the worst and best day of my life. It's definitely given me a purpose and a reason to live, and you know, just being able to help so many other people who either get transverse myelitis or become paralyzed in some way. It's definitely given my life so much meaning, and I would not change it for the world.